This doesn't have to be included. If it is included, cool. So, if you can see, oh, you can't see it. Fuck. Okay, whatever. Well, actually, no, you can see it easily. Okay, let me click on it. So, oh gosh. So like, this is such an adorable fucking plushie, but like, it's such an adorable plushie, right? And the thing is, it needed like 200 pledges, and I didn't know about it because I basically just started playing this game, so I didn't know there was gonna be a plushie like. But yeah, I didn't know there was gonna be a plushie like this. So like, I saw it in the news thing. I was like, oh shit, this is so fucking cute. And I saw the date. I was like, fuck, March 13th. I just started playing this game, so I did not. I couldn't buy. I couldn't like support them because again, it's like the plushie is weird, but also really adorable. So like, I looked and it was already it failed. I was like, that fucking sucks. Like the fact that they couldn't do it because of a pledge, I was like, that sucks ass. Then again, it would be like theoretically $30 for a plushie. I'd probably played more than that. But and then plus shipping and tax. This is wild. So yeah, you have 27.50 for 27.99. Um you pay $2 for the pledge, and then you also pay shipping and tax. So just with that, you're already paying it's like $29. $29.89, which is $30. I'm never gonna say 99 and not include the extra cent. So it's $30 for the plushie. Then put shipping and tax. Whatever the shipping is, I think it's like $4 here. So it'd be like $34, and then shipping is whatever. It could be $2, could be $4. I don't know. But then you also do shipping, which from what I've seen, a lot of shipping costs is like $14, and I'm like, it's a lot. Like it's a fucking lot. So you're paying about 40. How much is $48 for the plushie, which is too much, and I probably would have backed out. I literally just backed out of buying a like not even kick like a pre-ordering. So there was a Kickstarter I've been trying to truthfully get. How am I not including this in the fucking video? I don't know. But there's been a Kickstarter I wanted to support when it was doing it, but didn't really have the time to do it. I think I just kind of forgot about it. I was like, I'll push it. But I kept pushing it back and then never did it. So the thing is, it's already like was funded. It's already done. It's like in pre-order phase. So the bundle I wanted to get, I think cost like 150 when it was like a bundle during the Kickstarter. But now the pre-order bundle is like close to like 200 and some $250, and I'm like, I don't want to pay that much. It doesn't even have all the stuff I would have wanted as well, which is the VTTs, which is the virtual tabletop code, so you can use it if you play right. So it doesn't even have that. So I'm sad about that. And I was like, dude, whatever. So now I can't do anything with that, and it's whatever, I guess. But I really wanted it. I really wanted it, but then I saw it. I was like, I can't get it anyway. I don't really care. Like, it seems nice. It's very much more of a Halloween theme, and I was about to buy it too. I was about to say, fuck it, I'm about to buy it. Then I saw it was part of the D&D 5e universe, but also I was like, which one do you want? Do you want the? Because one of the things was like, do you want the? I think it was like 2014 and 2024. And I was like, I don't really want to buy something that is basically in 5e. Not because 5e itself is bad. I just don't want to buy something that's not like its own universe or it's like something different. Especially if I'm paying that much money. Like the book I bought before, the was it Tales of the Valiant, right? That is its own thing. Well, it's not its own. It follows Pathfinder, but at least it's different than D&D 5e. I can play different races. I can do all this stuff. Like it's a lot more creativity wise, race wise. Again, you can still do your own races with that book. It's more hard. It's more Halloween themed, so you have a very nice variety of characters and races and also classes. So there's that, right? Why am I starting the video with this fucking shit? Whatever. But it just bothered me. Anyway, let's start the video. So I got this message earlier when I was like finishing stream yesterday. But I got this message on my phone, I think, like it was a news post, right? That they were giving a DLC essentially, which is not really DLC. But they were giving like appearance offers, just like this weird appearance look for Dragon Age Velguard, which is not really anything that's it's only appearance, it's not something that actually affects the gameplay. It's not like some really nice weapon or whatever. It's just appearance. It's something that goes over your weapon. And it's free. So I was like, cool. And the thing is, everybody was like, well, I thought BioWare was done with this game, essentially. But they gave for some reason, a parents offer. I don't know why. Because, again, they should be fixing their game. Then, nobody, like, cool, you gave this out. Just fucking fix your game. Make it viable. Make it better. Like, do something, motherfuckers. Show that you care. Nobody thinks you cares. I've said I just like retro games, but truthfully, I just dislike games that are old and are hard to play. I don't mean in a difficulty way. but in a way that can stop you from progressing. In a lot of older games, it's hard for the game to run smoothly. Because the game is dated, and because it is dated, there aren't any updates being made to the game. That means the game is forgotten, and isn't made better to run on newer PC rigs. Which is sad, but makes sense since it is an older game. Games aren't thought to make money the longer it is out, so why put in care if you aren't getting anything back from updating it? Would I like updates to older games so that there aren't any bugs and it runs better? Yes. But I do understand that devs don't want to have to fix a game that is the lowest on their list of priorities. But yeah, because of these issues, I don't run to older games, or what a lot of people call them, retro games. I truthfully shy away from them, which is funny since I own a bunch of older D&D based games that I still want to play, but don't want to deal with jank. If I was able to, then I would have finished Veilguard, but I don't really want to have to restart the game after every location change. I may just return to it soon, so I just finish it because I'd rather not just always have this idea in the back burner. I dislike that I didn't complete the game because I rarely drop games, so it sucks when it happens. I'm someone that can say that I have played and completed a ton of games thanks to streaming, so it hurts when I can't complete one. But I have looked at games that have the retro aesthetic, but don't have the retro build. That just means games that have pixel graphics, but are tuned for updated PCs. I don't think that I've played a retro style game in a while. Well, until now. So, I had a game that I planned to play for a while, but for some reason I didn't play it. Like I wanted something different to play that wasn't my usual RPG, gameplay wise or art wise. Now, I'm not saying that the game I'm going to review is bad art wise, but that is different from my usual games. Also, the game is still an RPG and kind of has pixel graphics, but is an updated version of the style. I'm just saying that it's beautiful in its own way. It also has a nice exploration system. I also want to talk about this because I may forget later on. I also got around to practicing my art, but it wasn't as quick as I wanted it to be. The main reason was that I found my tablet, but sadly my pen and cable for the tablet wasn't in my tablet bag, so that was fun to learn. I had to order a replacement pen, and also a USB-A cable, and thankfully it arrived within a day. It meant that I wasn't able to do art until Sunday, but even then, I wasn't able to draw as best as I wanted to. I tried not to order from Amazon at this point and just buy from the sellers, but the seller's website didn't have information on my tablet. I messaged them on what pen was needed as a replacement for my tablet, but it took them a week to get back to me. I found the pen after searching my tablet online, and main seller was Amazon, and it was pretty cheap, which is why I got it in a day. The main reason I had issues is because I just hoped that plugging in my tablet would be all that I needed to do doodles. The main reason I had issues is because I just hoped that plugging in my tablet would be all that I needed to do the doodles. That's such a dumb statement, but it was hard not to make it. So the main problem was that my first drawing action wasn't translating into layer. So let's say I want to make a circle. We'd make a slanted line instead of a curve to make a circle. I looked it up and the first fix told me to install the drivers for the tablet to my computer, which actually made all the sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that at all, but it was something of an easy fix once I looked up the driver and installed it. Once it was installed, I was able to draw a circle, but yeah, I was still not remotely good at doing art, so I expect a backstory video anytime soon. Also, the best piece of news is that after looking in my tablet bag, I was able to find my drawing gloves, so that made me very happy. I will show you this artwork I was working on before we actually start this review, since I started drawing again because of all of you. So it makes all the sense in the world to show you my progress. Anyway, this is the mouse I drew while looking at how to draw a mouse. I know I have two big problems when it comes to drawing, which is drawing the face for characters, also drawing eyes to complement the face. So that will be my focus. Hope that I get it down at some point so I can start learning other techniques. But it's really fun to learn all these things. So I was doing some air study. Why do I have my earbuds in? I'm not listening to anything. What is wrong with me? So I'm not adding this into the script. I'm just gonna say it. But yeah, I was looking at goblin ears, and I kind of want to draw goblin ears. I kind of have to learn it because my character in the background video is very much a different race. So I kind of need to learn different races. Again, this is just something interesting. It's like a start. It's like I like it for what it is. Like you can see it a little bit closer, essentially. But like I don't know, it takes a lot. I spent a long time like trying to finish it, not because it was like difficult to do, but because I was like procrastinating. Is the best way to say that. I was procrastinating a lot, so it just took a while to like finish coloring it. It's not really drawing because I feel like 90% of the time is very much You can get the sketch out, right? But everything is determined by the shading and how everything looks, and then also the coloring also affects everything. Because this is just like points. Like this is tears in the air, which is why I have red. Which is kind of more like I was debating if I wanted to make it tribal or more of a like just cut marks and like tears or like that's like scarring essentially, which is why I made it more scarring than a tribal thing. And then you can see the tears and stuff. And then I knew I needed to show like the insides or the pink of the ear, which would be more reddish pink than actual pink because of the fact it would be flesh tone. But if you're just doing a non-realistic character, it'd just be pink. If you're making a very really realistic art, it's going to be more reddish but still green essentially, right? Because it's still a character, it's going to be flesh tone. But still, like my ear isn't red inside; it's my skin tone. But if you put a light on it, it's just going to look, what do you call it? It's going to look reddish inside because again of blood flowing through it, whatever. But truthfully, if I were to make this more realistic, it'd be more of a light green than anything else. This would still be a top green to show the difference and everything. And this would be more of a light green, which is why I was also debating if I wanted to do more of a light green, which it would have worked regardless. But I went more pink because mostly in a lot of stories or whatever, the inner ear is usually pink. It's usually a different color. But truthfully, if I were to make this different, I would just probably make it a lighter skin complexion. Even though, let's be honest, all ears are the same color. It's never really just pink. Especially on humans, whatever, it's always like the same color. If we're doing more of like an animal style, which is what this drawing was, with like a canine, like a bee skin, it would be more of a fur type, right? This is why I just drew it like that. It's not the best, but also I wasn't really looking at a reference. I was just drawing from memory, so it's not really something where I was like, yeah, this is from a different reference. Like, no, it was just that was from memory. This is more from a reference, but this was also from a realistic reference. So I was actually just drawing it freehand than anything. Because like even in the reference there was like that ear was like immaculate. But also there was like bones coming out of it, like spikes essentially. It looked amazing. I can't really draw that. But this is just a goblin there. Because again, like I'm just trying to learn to draw everything together or like everything differently. And then the face kind of comes with it. But I need to learn to draw a face first. But we'll see. When that happens, that happens, you know? So the game I'll be reviewing today is called Beyond Galaxyland. It's a very interesting action RPG. The story, for the most part, was predictable, which has recently been a thing with a lot of these games for me. Story starts when you get back home from some kind of event with your friend. After going inside, you talk to your parents. Part of the story makes it so you have a reason to go back outside. Once you go out in search for said friend, you find yourself thrown into the story. So my main problem with a lot of these games is that you don't empathize with the problems of the characters, because you don't really get to know anyone. You get a small amount of time to meet these characters. Once they are gone, they're gone. So there's no time to be sad about them. As you can tell from the name of the game, you aren't on Earth anymore. Well, not even our galaxy. Try to fucking say something like, we are beyond the galaxy. It's so fucking dumb, I'm keeping it. It's not gonna be included, because I don't want to be fucking included into the script. Because it's so fucking cringy. But we're fucking including that. I'm also including this bullshit. You explore the galaxy with your colorful crew, while also doing quests and discovering all that the new world holds. Going back to the story, this is an exploration game with a coming of age kind of twist. The reason I say this is because you go from the scared kid to the scared kid that is ready to face what is in front of him. So to talk about the story a bit more, you have to battle your way through situations to discover what happened to your home. When you find out what happens, you have to decide on how you're planning your journey from this moment forward. You see how hard it is to explain the story when it is so short? So stop making games that don't take long to beat. I can also stop playing short games, but sadly, I don't check the runtime of games when I start playing them. But to give an overall review of the story is not bad. The side characters get good stories, and some even get side quests that adds more to the lore. Also, doing these quests will give them better weapons, so that they hit harder in combat. I also talked about earlier that this game is short, so even though they should get more story to define them later on, they sadly don't. You get what you get, and you can't really ask for more, because the game is so short, but it has New Game Plus, so maybe there's more in the second playthrough. Combat is your basic turn-based combat, but the actual combat mechanics are different than most games. I sadly feel like I've said this for a ton of games at this point. Anyway, so you have your 3 bars to pay attention to when it comes to combat. Your HP bar, SP bar, and your AP bar. Your HP is your health points, and once you run out of it, then you have to be revived to even be switched out. Your SP is your summon point. It is used to summon the beast you captured in the world to use their abilities. Your AP bar is your action points that allow you to use your personal abilities. But unlike the SP bar, the AP bar is shared between all the characters. The thing I dislike the most is the same thing I dislike with older Pokemon games, which is that party members outside of combat don't get experience. That's really bad since there's no catch-up experience. So you have these underlevel companions that you have to perma keep them out of battle. I also believe that you have to actually do actions with them in order to get experience. This means no slotting them in and out to count them as in battle. Makes sense since switching out members don't count as an action, but still sucks since grinding in this game isn't that fun of a thing. I remember having to grind 2 levels and it was the worst because I had to fight enemies that 2-shot me unless I played a certain way. Also, your AP bar increases by making successful attacks and can decrease if you don't block at the right time. You only really get recovery items for your AP and SP, which is funny because I didn't really start using my summons, so I was basically at the end of the game. I used an ability to give my allies higher defense, and an ability that gave us haste. The main reason was because you don't have any way to refill your SP bar besides recovery items. The SP bar is recovered after fighting, and the sad thing is that most summon skills are costly. That means you'll only be allowed one move before you have to use a recovery item. That's the main reason I didn't really use the summoning system, and the summons also need leveling up to use certain skills. That is the main reason I didn't really use the summoning system, and the summons also need leveling up to use certain skills. The sad thing is that it doesn't take them long to level, and also most of their max levels are 3. It's not really much progression when it comes to them. Also, remember that weapons are something you get from story progression. So you actually have to get through the story in order to get the perfect weapons for these characters. There are also relics of the game that help your stats. Ignite more strength, give you speed, and nullify the very low poison you see in the game. For the most part, combat isn't bad, and I can't call it good or bad because it gets tedious very fast. But the fun of trying to capture the different monsters is doing quests for the unique ones, and then forgetting to capture them before beating them. So there is exploration in this game, and you can explore different planets and systems. For the most part, the planets are full of different races and creatures, but it is still empty. The reason I say that is because you just have a bunch of characters that just give you one-liners, and that is it. You may find 1 or 2 characters that give you a quest, if you're lucky. For the most part, you have a merchant that sells you healing potions and other items, but besides that, the world is pretty empty. You have a few really fun and engaging quests throughout the game that can be missable if you don't explore. You also get to do a racing minigame, which is very janky, but fun at the same time. You also reset after every run, so you can easily get that first place you want. The great reward you get is used for your ship, so I'll definitely say to attempt first place for the races if you do them. But yeah, I'm sad to say the world itself felt very empty for what is there. There's one planet that has 3 linear areas, and only one area is actually filled with stuff. The first area has nothing, the second area has a merchant, and the last linear area has 1 interaction. That's kind of what I meant by the worlds are empty. But at least you have enemies you can fight and take pictures of. The thing I kind of forgot to say in combat section is that you can take pictures of enemies. Now it's best to do this before you enter combat, because otherwise you have to waste a turn to scan the enemy. Scanning is ability, so you have to use your AP bar. And the reason you do this is because without scanning, you don't see the enemy's health bar. Yeah, it's the type of game where unless you scan your enemy, you will have to go in blind to a fight. Thankfully, if you scan one enemy type, you will scan them all, so you don't have to do it twice. But truthfully, you can go in and just fight blind. The only thing scanning does is allow you to see the name and health bar, so it just depends on how you want to play. But taking pictures of the creatures in the world is helpful against having to scan in combat. There are some enemies you can only scan in combat, so you can't just take pictures of every enemy, sadly. There are missions that require you to take pictures of different creatures in the world, which will require you to explore different planets. Also, doing everything opens up the other parts of the world that may be inaccessible to you at a certain point. Overall, I like the game for the short time that I played it. Playability wise, I don't think there is much besides getting all the pictures done in the game and getting all the summons, but besides that, I don't really see a reason to go back to play. I guess if you miss out on the quest, do it your second playthrough, but truthfully you have time to go back and do everything. So no excuse to save it for a second run. But yeah, from what I got from playing the game, it feels like everything can be done on one playthrough. Then again, I missed a few creatures to take pictures of, so I probably missed a few places. There's only one place I didn't fully explore, so I can guess why I missed out on things, but not bothered by side content of that nature. The main reason I say that is because the only content I missed was just taking pictures of things and also getting all the summons. I am not someone that does 100% completions of games, so it doesn't bother me to miss things. I also just play as much as I can. Once the credits roll, I'm done. I'm most likely not going to revisit the game on stream. For the most part, the ending boss fight felt good, and the end reveal, even though predictable, still felt nice to see. Also, I like the ending for what it was without spoiling the game at all. I wasn't expecting actual space exploration from this game at all, but more of a fast travel aspect like most games. There isn't really any fast travel in this game, like I said earlier, so the game isn't big. You kind of go to the planet you want to land at and select the landing point. That is kind of your only way to fast travel to different areas. The story is predictable, but it is relatable because you deal with someone thrown into foreign soils. He has to deal with losing everyone he was close with, is sent on his way to explore, and is told that he will be fine. He has to grow up fast, but still has to deal with all the pent up emotions as he goes throughout the game. Characters are diverse, and have their own story for you to discover. Well, except for one character. They're just there, sadly, but like I said, we have a short game. There's no time to really build these characters up. If the game was longer, you would see more of the character stories, add a lot more to the world. I would have liked this game a lot more. Again, I had fun with the game. I would say to try this game on your own time. Music for this game is great and gets you pumped while in combat, and after playing it, I definitely bought the soundtrack after beating the game. I like the game, but wouldn't play it again. I would recommend this game though, but that is the end of the review. The next video will be a review on a really cute game from Indonesia, so make a guess on what that is. Anyway, my name is Only Incubus, and that is my time. Later days. Love you all. Bye. Send kisses. Mwah. Mwah. Consensually. I love you all. Love you all, everybody. Hope you all have a good rest of your week. Peace out. Love you all. Peace. Bye. Mwah, 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 mwah. Peace. Mwah.